outset, I would like to thank Adhivakta Parishad, Dwarka Court for celebrating International Women's Day. The most fundamental aspect of equality is equality in opportunity. However, the same is continued to be denied to women in legal profession. From Regina Guha's unsuccessful attempt for women to be included in the definition of person entitled to practice under the Legal Practitioners Act through Justice Leela Seth having been asked to handle a tea party coming up for judges to having 3 women judges at the same time in the Supreme Court of India. We have travelled a little, but there is a long way to go to achieve full measures of equality. The representation of women advocates in higher judiciary, senior designation and amongst arguing councils is still negligible and shows that claims of gender equality in legal profession are far from the truth despite the increasing number of women law graduates and women advocates at the entry level. There are few women in leadership positions, be it at the bar or at the bench. Denial of opportunity to women advocates is systemic as the bar and bench continue to be an old boys club. Women-led lives are few and far between. Women lawyers do not get the same number of matters nor the same remuneration as their male counterparts. The first woman to be appointed law officer by the Government of India was in 2009. The country has not had a single woman Minister of Law and Justice so far. Women have very small percentage of representation at judiciary and at situation at the bar, especially in the state bar councils, is even worse. A study revealed that only 2.04% of the elected representatives in these bodies are women. In near future, we shall be witnessing the first woman Chief Justice of India, but I think we are still away from ensuring at least 50% representation of women in our legal system. The legal profession still remains male dominated, yes, we are underrepresentation of women. However, things are changing for women better, and Indian women today are better placed to excel in profession. Some of the achievements made by the women who have left a mark in the legal profession are Justice Fatima Bibi, first woman judge of the Supreme Court; Indra Jaising, who was the first woman to be designated senior advocate by the Bombay High Court and the first woman to be appointed as then Additional Solicitor General of India. Justice Seth was the first female judge of the Delhi High Court and the first woman to top the London Bar exam. Apart from this, she was also the first woman Chief Justice of a High Court. Justice Bindu Malhotra was the first woman to be directly elevated to the Supreme Court from the bar. In 2007, she became only the second woman to be designated as senior advocate by the Supreme Court of India, close to 3 decades after Justice Leela Seth. Inequality of opportunity for advancement, lack of mentoring opportunities, lack of women role models, lack of ambition, social pressures, lack of work-life balance, and sexual harassment at workplace are all problems still facing women in the practice of law, especially the young women. One of the main reasons for the continuing battle of women, despite acquiring sufficient skills and knowledge, is the lack of adequate representation at the helm of affairs. Lack of opportunity results in women advocates not getting a chance to perform and improve their performance in the court, which in turn leads to denial of further opportunity to them. It is a vicious circle. Women equal participation in the profession is critical to both ensuring the fairness of the justice system for all the participants and to make available different perspectives for the development of law. Diversity brings wide-ranging opinions to the table. Women advocates have struggled to make a mark at an individual level. There have also been movements for betterment of women advocates collectively. What is required is a sustained movement to advance the interest of women members of the legal profession and to secure the full and equal participation of women in the legal profession in furtherance of a just society. Thank you.
woman would always say, if men can do, we can also. Alright. I'm waiting for the time, I'm waiting for the moment when the situation is the other way around. And a man would say, if women can do, I can also do. Only then we could achieve, true women empowerment. Good evening, everyone. I see a lot of men also here, so I am not the only odd man out. And it's pleasure to be amongst my sisters from the bar. And special thanks to our Adhivakta Parishad, the entire executive, the entire team, for realizing the importance of this particular subject and organizing this wonderful event. We were also very fortunate to hear the good words from Dr. Seema ji. I asked during the when I was sitting with her as to what was her subject. So Constitution used to bore us when I was a student of law, and during her entire speech I didn't even blink my eye for a change. Otherwise I was a backbencher. But then it was so good to hear from you about so many subjects, not only Constitution, about equity in particular, equality, metaphysics, spirituality. It's so good, and the manner in which you blended everything is commendable. And I think you should take this subject further, the Constitution and the fusion of Constitution and spirituality, at least in Indian context. Now, in context of equality, I somehow, I remembered about one novel which was part of our course curriculum during graduation. It was Animal Farm. I'm sure that you are novel. The theme was animals, and it was a pig farm. There were two, faction. One was headed by Snowball, one was Napoleon, something like that. But the punchline was, all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. Now you borrow that analogy in the present context. So this is, the equality is a myth, I would say. All are equal, but naturally some are more equal than others. This is happening, and we all wish and pray that it comes to an end. The challenges before the female lawyers in particular are multiple, numerous. I mean, you would not be able to count. There's so much challenges. I mean, some of them have highlighted by our worthy speakers, Madhuji also. I have certain statistics with me also, as the previous speakers have also highlighted. The new enrollment of girls in big law school is hovering around 50%. It's 50%. And now see the proportion of women lawyers in India, it's hardly 15%. And when it comes to judges and maybe judicial officers, it is really very low, it's around 10%. And when you compare it with the figure with respect to senior advocates, it is even less than 4%. So this is actually very poor proportion, and it shows gender bias. Women are naturally still underrepresented. I would not say that unrepresented. They are underrepresented in law firms, justice delivery system, high offices, and therefore they are unable to gain equal access to opportunities and recognition. The biggest challenge for any female lawyer would be work-life balance. I think that is the most crucial, at least in Indian context. They have to make a balance, strike a balance between the court work and household work, which is the most tough thing in the world, I would say. On one side, there is a struggle to create name and fame in profession, and on the other, the expectations of the family and the society so high. So if there are pressing and there are demands from the profession, there are equal demands from the family. And it becomes really difficult to strike a right balance. They are expected to be home managers, they are expected to be taking care of the children, they are expected to take the children to the school, they are expected to take care of the elders also. They are also required to do nursing. I mean, you say and what not. Everything is to be done. I am sure that no household in India can be run without there being a woman in the house. It's impossible to even think. And the irony is that the work which our women do is it goes totally unnoticed, and there is no kind of recognition for that also. I think to some extent we all are to be blamed for that, whether any male member in the family, whether he's a son, whether he's a father-in-law, brother, they take the things for granted कि ठीक है इन्होंने तो काम करना ही करना है, but then they have to simultaneously take care of their profession, which is at times impossible, and this creates lot of stress, and this stress is so huge that they are not able to deliver at times, and they have to come back also, you know, in time from their workplace, because else the male members may get angry at why are you so late. So that is the most important challenge which continues to be in our Indian society, is how to strike work-life balance. The gender pay gap, I mean, it was also told earlier also, there is huge disparity. The kind of professional fee which our male lawyers are getting is, you know, is even unthinkable, and what the female lawyers are getting is virtually peanuts if you compare it. So this does not provide the female lawyers with the requisite financial stability and the financial security. So we have to be mindful of those disparity, and these are kind of challenges which our female lawyers are facing. We don't have good female mentors also. I mean, that is also one big thing. I do not know why, when I do not belong to Stone Age, but then I do recall that in our time there used to be some genuine seniors who used to believe in passing on the baton. But now these days nobody is ready to groom, which is a very bad scenario because it doesn't augur well for the system. Now the knowledge, we all know it increases if you share. No, saving the knowledge is totally useless, but then we don't want to share the good practices, we don't want to share our knowledge with others. Probably we think today the other person would outsmart us, so we don't want to share the knowledge, and therefore we don't have very good mentors with us. But then as Madhuji has also highlighted, that we have certain big achievers in every field, and in context of justice delivery system also we have some super advocates, you don't even call them as senior advocates. I would say that they are super advocates, and I'm sure that most of you would be also having your role models. I mean, there are few names, including Indra Jaising, which was highlighted, Rebecca John, Brinda Garobar, Menaka Guruswamy, Karuna Nandi. So there are so many good people around, and we can take them, we can emulate them, we can consider them as our role models and naturally progress further. In conclusion, I would say though there is a progress in recent years, but there are still huge challenges. And it is important for the male-dominated legal fraternity, as it was said, old boys club, to continue to work towards creating more inclusive and supportive environment for we all. I would end with a small quote by our APJ Abdul Kalam ji on the impact of women empowerment, and very appropriately and very rightly he said, when a woman is happy, the home is happy. When the home is happy, the society is happy. And when the society is happy, the state is happy. And when the state is happy, there will be peace in the country, and it will develop at a greater pace. Thank you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for sharing your views. Now I would like to call Manisha ji to felicitate sir.